Morning students. In the last lecture we have taken the introduction of our syllabus, which shows basically 3 units. First is Thallophyta, second one is the angiosperm, and third one is the modern technique to study the plant diversity. As already told you, we will start with our unit number second, that is angiosperms. The angiosperms is one of the advanced plant group of the earth as compared to the plantae. The angiosperm is a plant group which shows a ovules enclosed within the ovary. This character, whenever present in that plant group, is called the angiospermic plant group. Again, angiospermic plant group are known by a flowering plant. But in phanerogams, spermatophyta, there is a two seed bearing plant group, that is one is angiosperm and second is the gymnosperm. Both are bearing the seeds, flowering plants. But the only one character that is not found in gymnosperm is ovules enclosed within ovary. So these are the angiospermic plants. Like common plant around us like tulsi, aloe vera, adulsa, bahava. So these are the common example of angiospermic plants. In this unit, the first subunit is a systematics. Plant systematics, basically it is. We have to study the objective and goal of a plant systematic. I shown on you the slide, the objectives of a plant systematic. To provide information of a construction of a taxonomic system, our first objective, it is only possible when we learn about the plant systematics. And this is a duty of a taxonomist, this is a duty of a botanist to provide the constructive taxonomic system, means a lower hierarchical level or higher hierarchical level or identification of any plant individual should be provided. That is the main objective. The second objective is to supply the character for the construction of a keys for identification. This is one of the interesting objective. What happened? The duty of taxonomist is basically the collection of a plant, to identification of a plant, then nomenclature of a plant, and finally classification. And when it is possible, if we know about the characters of a plant, particularly species. A species is nothing but a group of individual which can interbreed between each others. जसं की common example, Mangifera indica. The pollen grains of Mangifera indica cannot fertilize the flower of banana. Even both are the plant, angiospermic plants. But these are the two different population, two different species. Banana and Mangifera is a different plants. A species means a group of characters. It depends on a group of character which taxonomist separate it for its purpose of a identification. That character. Character, again, I want to give a definition of a character. A botanist or a taxonomist which separate its similarities or dissimilarities for a comparison of a two individual, and it is enrolled for the identification, and this is nothing but a formation of a keys. A keys is nothing but a characters are placed in this fashion, we can use that characters for the identification of any plant species. We have studied the family Malvaceae and Amarlidaceae in BSc first year, and I shown you the flora of a Bombay Presidency written by Theodore Cook in 1901, 1902 and 1903. That is a 3 volumes work, and he was given the keys for family keys, then every genus having its species keys, and every infraspecific taxa having a keys into the species. So that character should be provided by the botanist is the main objective. The third objective, to furnish a feature useful in a description and the delimitation of a taxa. A furnishing means nothing but selecting that particular characteristics for the comparison. It should not be a variable characters, it should be a standard character. There is another point, that is weighing of character, means to which character we have to give the more weightage, that is the constant characteristics, and that is correlated with the flowers, not to the vegetative parts. So the floral character should be used in a description when we delimiting a taxa. Delimiting means what? If a Mangifera indica or some other example we can take, like a Hibiscus rosa chinensis, the hibiscus basically shows a monodelphous stamens, 5-petal corolla, pentacarpellary ovary, axile placentation, flower color is red, yellow. So these are the group of the characters. So we can delimit that particular species. Hibiscus is a one genus, that species having a particular characteristics. So these, when we applied for the identification of any plant individuals, so that is nothing but the a procedure of a delimitation of a taxa. The fourth objective is to enable the scientist to use the predictive value of a classification. So the main objective is a development or producing a students, scientist, or train the students or a scientist to predict the evolutionary thinking about the plant group by its characters. Like in Bentham-Hooker system of a classification, we realize that the Bentham-Hooker placed Rannell's order first in his classification system and given a group of characters. That character is not found in other advanced character or intermediate family groups. That shows that the group of character which is found into the Rannell's order, number of carpel is there, number of stamen is there, tree habit is there. So these are the some some family members like Magnoliaceae still shows a very good character of angiosperm instead of a fruit characters. That is naked seed is also observed into the primitive angiospermic plants. So this is nothing but the combination of some angiospermic characters as well as some gymnospermic character, but the most character are confined to angiosperms. So that's why Rannell-Coolacea family, Magnoliaceae family, Trochodendraceae family. So these are the most primitive families in the plant angiospermic groups. So what Bentham-Hooker done here? He had given a character group. By giving that character, we can assume, we can think, we can conclude These character are the primitive characteristics. So you can evolution, you can understand the evolution, which one is the primitive, which one is the advanced. So these capacity have to be developed. That is the fourth objective. And that capacity in which people we have to develop that capacity in every botanist, every botanist student. So that's why these systematic study and its objective is included in our syllabus by Mumbai University. Then we will go to the goals of a plant systematic. In a goal, we have to do the first identification, and for that every scientist, every botanist, every forester or the plant lovers have to be explore and identify the plants with available literatures. If it is not correctly matching with existing species, we have to give the name, means a nomenclature, and finally placing it into the particular genus, means classifying it, that species should be placed in which genus. If some characters like Pentacarpillary ori is there, then Exile placentation is there, Monodelphus stamen is there, so that group of character should be, that population, that plant individual should be placed into the Malvaceae family. Then in which Malvaceae family, in that Malvaceae family there are again number of genera, like hibiscus is there, malvastrum is there, gossipim is there, even senso stricto shows that even Eliocarpaceae family, Tiliaceae family, Sterculiaceae family are included in Malvaceae group. So there are various subfamilies also. So by judging that character group, we can place it in a particular hierarchical level. It may be a division, it may be a subdivision, it may be a class, it may be a subclass, it may be a family, it may be a order. So that is the classification. That goal we have to achieve. The second goal is of a plant systematic is an inventory of the plants. The inventory of the plant is nothing but a survey of a plant individual in a particular region. It may be a small region, even one plateau, even one small tehsil, even district level, state level, country level. So these inventory basically in our India done by various Britishers like William Roxburgh, Theodore Cook, Bentham and Hooker, Dalzell and Gibson for our Konkan region. So these are nothing basically the inventory of the plants. So that had done by the earlier scientist. So again for the particular regions which yet not explored, so that intention or our goal of a systematic to provide the inventory of the plant of that particular region. The third objective to practice the identification. The practice of the identification means by using the different floras, by using the different monographs, by using the different taxonomic literature, we have to practicize to the student for the identification of a collected plants. So this is again one of the important goal of our plant systematic. Then in objective already we told about the predictive value of the plant evolution. This is also goal also. If we don't know about the evolution of the plant, so we cannot arrange it into the particular hierarchical level. So in a detail we have to do it. So that goal should be achieved after studying the plant systematic. There basically in a taxonomic literature we found that the four goals should be achieved, that is exploration means a collection of a plant from a different regions or a particular regions and collecting that plants, preparation of a herbarium sheets and naming of it, and trying to identifying with a comparing of available herbarium sheets in a particular museums like Botanical Survey of India having its own museum like a herbarium where plant individuals from Karnataka, Maharashtra, Goa, Dadra and Nagar Haveli are collected and placed there into the dried form. We can compare our plant individuals with that plant and identify it. Then consolidating phase means nothing but a preparation or writing of a particular regional floras, a writing of a regional floras, writing of a state floras, writing of a country floras. So that phase is the consolidative phase. Then the third stage is the biosystematic studies. Means a plant individual studied not only based on a morphological characters but also a different disciplines like anatomy, palynology, embryology, cytology, chemical constituents or a phytochemistry, biophysics, even a lot of disciplines we have in our biology that is applied to the particular plant individual and with respect to study of that particular plant group is nothing but a biosystematic phase. And the last phase we have to achieve, the last goal we have to achieve, that is nothing but the encyclopedic phase. Encyclopedic phase is the important phase because this is the one of the last goal of our plant systematic study. So that encyclopedia should be with a detailed information from a single cell, what it contained, that plant individual what shows like morphological character, embryological character, palynological character, anatomical character, then geographical characters, then serological studies, then different disciplines have to be included. All the information, detailed information of every individual should be written in the form of encyclopedia. So this is the last goal. Up to the 2020, the literature says that about only 20% data are gained by our scientists, our botanists, our taxonomists, and it is a need of to explore the world, to explore the every region, and preparation of all these phases like exploration, consolidative, biosystematic, and we have to achieve a last and final aim, that is an encyclopedic phase. There is some different causes also. We cannot get the encyclopedia till date now because of a problems of a teamwork, because a duty of a taxonomist, a collection of a plant, identification of a plant, nomenclature of a plant, classification of a plant, it is not possible individually, it is nothing but a teamwork. And due to there is again second reason I have, we know that a various regions still not explored due to the various reasons, like tigers, panthers, reptiles are occurred into the forest. That region are commonly unexplored. High elevation, even aquatic bodies, deep aquatic bodies are not still explored. So it is urgent need to study the plant systematics by every students, and should engage with the study of collection of a plant, identification of a plant, delimitation of the plant is important to achieve our objectives and goals of a plant systematics. So this is about the systematic objectives and goals. In the next lecture, we will go through the next subunit, that is the plant nomenclature, in detail. Thank you.